Well, thank you and good afternoon to the Development and Property Committee. Welcome to the meeting of August the 9th. I've called this meeting to order. With that, I will ask Peter to read the land acknowledgement. Please, Peter.
Thank you, Chair. Through you, as we gather this afternoon, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of Council, Committee, and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years.
Thank you very much. Roll call has been taken.
Yes, and we have quorum.
Disclosure of pecuniary interest. Does any member wish to disclose any pecuniary interest in any of the matters before us this afternoon? Seeing none, adoption of the minutes of the previous meeting held on June the 14th distributed. Any errors or omissions to the minutes? Seeing none, any motion to accept the minutes, please. Moved by Peter, seconded by Kathy. All in favor? Then it is carried. No delegations. We'll go to the Development and Property Committee, the department report, Craig, which can be found on page 3. There is also an addendum attached to that particular issue. Okay? Craig?
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, everyone. My report, as the Chair mentioned, starts on page number 3. The item number 1 is a good news story. Well, it's all good news story in DMP. The notice went out this morning to all of Council, of course, and staff has been informed that the gentleman behind me, Mr. Jason Davis, was the successful candidate in the replacement of me, who's moving on to another role at the beginning of next month. So I'd like to congratulate Jason in the competition. It was a hard-fought competition, and Jason brought a certain level of passion to his interview and has some great ideas for the department moving forward, and I'm happy to be working with him as we see some changes and some stress points in this department as we move forward throughout the ensuing year. So again, congratulations to Jason, and thank you for all your hard work in the department thus far. You'll note, was it last week? I think Jason was 20 years as of last Wednesday with the corporation, so certainly a company man for sure. Item number 2.
Just before you go on,
sure.
Jason, did you want to say anything?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Director Kelly. I do appreciate the and honor this position I've just taken, and I'm looking back at my 20 years here, and the former CAOs and the current one has really gave me an opportunity to learn from them, from Paul Morrow to Craig Kelly, Jim Hutton, Dave Anderson, some blasts from the past, and I appreciate all the support I've had in the past, and I look forward to engaging with the staff and the ratepayers of Renfrew County. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Just on behalf of our committee, and I'm sure the rest of County Council, unless the warden wants to say a few words, I think we're all looking forward to working with you as you go forward. Warden?
Oh, thank you very much, Chair. And yes, it was a privilege to be able to be part of that interview process. Jason blew us away with his passion and dedication to this county. So I think we're in very good hands moving forward with the new Director of Development and Property and our new CAO.
Thank you. Go ahead now, Craig.
So this is obviously my last meeting as your director. It's been, and I could have said this in new business, it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you next month, right? So thanks again. With that, here are the financials. Item number 2, I'm leaving behind a decent treasurer report as starting on page number 5. For the most part, we're on track. The budget's in check. I will point out some things that will be happening over the course of the next 6 months, as this is up to June of 2022. There should be additional revenues in forestry because of some additional work that was pointed out in this report to salvage some blowdown down in the greater Madawaska area, so that may result in additional revenues, and that will be determined later on. Of course, the Trails Department still continues to be stressed with the build-out. We'll learn more today during some other portions of the meeting about how we're trying to alleviate those stressors. But of course, we've got, I'll say, $4 million on the books that's to be coming out of surpluses from the County of Renfrew. So again, there are stress points as we get this the Algonquin Trail built out. And in planning, again, as of June, we're on track. However, there was a decision made in the first part of the year, and then decision made in May of this year, or sorry, in April of this year, to hire additional planning staff. So that additional staff comes with a cost that was unplanned at the beginning of this year. So there will be, we will be over budget likely in certain departments or certain divisions of this department as we move forward to the end of the year. I can go to the addendum then as well. Thank you, Chair. So the addendum that you received earlier this morning is a note about Renfrew County Day at Queen's Park. And if you recall, I believe it was in 2019, I brought a resolution forward, or the department brought a resolution forward to have a Renfrew County Day at Queen's Park where we'd bring local businesses down to celebrate all things Renfrew County, have a lunch with MPPs, introduce them to our businesses, some local food, have MPP Yakubuski introduce us on the floor and welcome everybody and introduce Renfrew County to all the MPPs who may or may not know where Renfrew County is. That was to take place in February or March of 2020, and of course an event happened in the world that around March 13th of 2020, so all those plans were ditched. Early in July, earlier this summer, after letting them know when things were canceled to keep us in mind should the venue open up again, that we'd love to be back. Well, no sooner did we ask that, they opened the venue early this summer to say we're taking bookings for this fall. Here are the available dates. And knowing that the County of Renfrew is still interested in attending that type of event and celebrating all things Renfrew County, November 3rd was chosen. We understand the dates and we understand the election coming up. November is really around the time that there was available to us. And the third was chosen as a date by staff. It was also felt at this time to engage the volunteer organizing committee of the Ontario Winter Games. Of course, the Winter Games are happening the first few weeks of February of 2023. And this is a good time to bring some of those folks down to introduce the games and invite all of them back up in February to attend the games. And I believe they are bringing a certain amount of collateral or gifts to those MPPs in celebration and acknowledgement of the Ontario Winter Games happening in this area. So again, Chair, this is an information piece. Like other things that are still being planned, and those invites will go out to this council, who will still be the council of the Corporation of the County of Renfrew on the 3rd, just before your term ends, and you shall be invited to that event when things get organized. So again, Chair, that is my full report.
Thank you very much. We'll go back to the beginning of the report. Item number 1, any comments on the appointment beyond what was already showered on Jason? Item number 2, the Treasurer's report. Any comments? Item number, I guess, 2B, I suppose the addendum. Warden.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm really excited about the November 3rd date. I know that there's 7 members of County Council that are running for re-election, but I really would encourage them to attend that day. I think we've worked very hard in the County of Renfrew, and the opportunity to be able to go to Queen's Park and to celebrate what we've done in the last 4 years and what we are hoping to do in the future is an excellent opportunity. I'm just thrilled that we're going to be able to do this. Thank you.
So mark that in your calendars. Peter?
Yes, thank you. I think it was the perfect opportunity. Both Craig and I were working this from different directions. I've been spending some time trying to set something up, and we had a conversation and realized we were both working on it at the same time, because I think the Ontario Winter Games deserves, and especially in Renfrew County, deserves the opportunity to have a profile. And what we're trying to do is raise the profile amongst the legislature for the games, similar to what happens with the plowing matches. And frankly, we weren't going to be able to do it without the support and the efforts of the County of Renfrew. And Craig was able to, at the same time as I was, we came to the conclusion it made sense to pull both organizations into it and to put on a heck of a day. So I think you're going to see a pretty special day. In my conversations with John and some of the folks in Queen's Park, they're very excited about it. And as the warden has said, I think you'll enjoy it.
Thank you. Further on the addendum. Thank you. With that, then we'll go to economic development. Craig, please.
Thank you, and hats off to Melissa Marquardt. She's just on vacation, well-deserved vacation after a very busy summer. That is still ongoing, mind you. So item number 1 is Taste of the Valley. Just an update on Taste of the Valley. Of course, we haven't had a true Taste of the Valley in the county since 2019. So they do kick off on August 19th in Barry's Bay. The first Taste of the Valley will be where the farmers market is typically held in Barry's Bay, and then the subsequent ones are listed below on the 26th of August, 24th of September, 1st and 2nd and 15th of October. So again, Business Development Officer David Waibu is busy gathering attendee booths, vendors for the days, and we can guarantee a great time, as we always do with Taste of the Valley. And thank you to those municipalities who we've partnered with to make these a success moving forward. Item number 2, committee will recall a few years ago we started talking about Ride Shark, and this is a ride-sharing app that we were going to use for those commuting to work, to school, and to other places in the county. We did receive some money from the Senior Secretariat at the time, from the province to make this happen. Again, like all things pandemic, after March the 13th, people stopped commuting other than downstairs in their houses. So there wasn't a lot of people moving in the area, and a lot of people going to work or otherwise for seniors traveling that we could make work, and the app started to fail our objectives of what we needed over the last 2 or 3 years. Unfortunately, after a series of extensions, and we tried for another extension to make this work, the Senior Secretariat called our chit and called it in and asked for the money back because we weren't, the deliverables weren't being met. So unfortunately, we had to return the dollars back for Ride Shark. So we do continue to work with the Eastern Ontario Leadership Council to make this work on a regional scale, and we will continue to do so moving forward. Item number 3 of the Economic Development Report is an information piece about New Canadians TV. Staff and Economic Development continue to work on an immigration piece and have bought some advertising time and some editorial time with a new TV show where the website's there, newcanadians.tv, and this will focus on the County of Renfrew as a place to immigrate to and make this place their home to work and to play. Item number 4 is about the Ottawa Valley Food Co-op, who's working currently with Fellows High School and the Township of North Algona-Wilberforce on a number of career fair opportunities throughout June, or did happen in June, to help those get familiar with jobs in agriculture and what it can mean. So again, a piece of labor force attraction in the area. And then a piece of information about the Farms Open event that's being planned for September 18th in Renfrew County. This again is being delivered with the Ottawa Valley Food Co-op, and they're currently looking for farms to host this event where, for those who know Doors Open in some of the greater communities, where people open their doors, come on in and see my farm and see what we do and actually get a whole feel for life in rural. Years ago, there used to be something called the Rural Ramble that the county was involved very, very deeply in. So this is a throwback to those days of the Rural Ramble happening. So, and item number 6 is just a piece of information. Good news, Mr. Scott Hamilton will be joining the team. He comes to us from the Township of Whitewater. So sorry about that. We stole a good one. So Scott will be joining us where he will help us out in economic development and be working with some of our entrepreneurs moving forward. And Scott brings a certain level of enthusiasm that we're welcoming to the team. On the sad news stories, Jackie Stott, who is our economic development coordinator, has left us for another opportunity that I'm sure she will succeed in, and we wish Jackie all the best as she moves on or has moved on to another position with the Indian Agricultural Program of Ontario. So she seems to, she's going to be making a difference for a lot of First Nations communities as they move forward and trying to find financing programs in the future. Chair, that is the Economic Development Report.
Thank you very much. I'll go back to item number 1, Taste of the Valley, and you have a copy of the flyer that's out there. All that food that's contained on there just makes you hungry, doesn't it? Comments on Taste of the Valley, Warden?
Thank you. I'm thrilled that it's back. I just want some clarification, though. I thought there was a 7th one, which was going to be at Christmas time in Laurentian Valley. Am I mistaken? Did that not come to fruition?
Craig?
Yes, I have. I believe that is true. It's just not being listed in terms of this. This is just a seasonal piece, but I'll double check to make sure that will be. I think that's in partnership with Laurentian Valley and will be promoted separately as a separate Christmas time event.
Okay, thank you for that. Further on number 1. Item number 2. It's unfortunate we have to give back some money there. That's always a hard thing to do, but comments on number 2. Item number 3. Item number 4. And this new initiative, item number 5. And the staffing update, number 6. Okay, then we'll go then to the Tourist Association, Ottawa Valley Tourist Association. Craig, it can be found, your report on page 14.
Thank you, Chair. Again, I'm starting on page 14. Several pieces of information from the OVTA. Number 1 is a direct result of some of the work that the OVTA and Ontario's Highlands do during the Rendezvous Canada that was actually held a couple years ago. So a group from Australia, Adventure World, is a tour operator, is promoting our whitewater businesses in the area and a place to do travel business. And OWL and Madawaska Canoe Center were part of that journalistic piece that's going out. So it's nice to see us being promoted from our friends down under. Item number 2 is a piece about the new strategy that's being developed about culinary tourism. I think this is important to note, the work going on. We see a lot of our small restaurants struggling, our big restaurants as well, struggling for staff, struggling for business as we move through and beyond the pandemic. So what the OVTA and OHTO is working with is a new culinary strategy, much like our drink route, which it's blocking at the cork route, tap and cork route. So this is beyond that, just to showcase all the restaurants that are in the area and those that are promoting local food and good eats. We're trying to make the chair hungry. You just keep bringing food up every time we have a different item today. And item number 3 is beyond what we've already done with Ride the Highlands. Mr. Perkins, I'm sure, as an off-road enthusiast, will enjoy that we're actually looking at adventure riding alternatives for motorcycling. So for those who are looking to get off the paved roads and trying to find those different routes that offer a route for those that have motorcycles that are capable of using our different roads and routes that we have in the county of Renfrew. So again, those are ongoing and will be launched in early spring next year in time for the summer tourism season. Chair, those are the 3 items in the OVTA report.
Thank you. Item number 1, comments or questions? Seeing none. Item 2. Item 3. Okay, then we'll go to Enterprise Renfrew County, page 16. Craig?
Thank you, Chair. The Enterprise Renfrew County report has 3 items. First is that Starter Company Plus is ongoing. The first intake has 10 completed participants. Of course, those the 8 will be competing for the $4,000 grants, and a good program. Once again, it's always good to promote this one. They get a series of mentorships and workshops to work them through as they start a business, and again get paid to do that while they're doing that. So, good program, and we will let you know what those company names are as we move forward and finalize those contracts with the Starter Company Plus recipients. Summer Company, a total of 4 Summer Company participants have completed the works to get there. These are the students who make $3,000 to start a business every summer, and happy to get those on board. We usually will bring those students back in September, or at least let you know of how they succeeded, so we will continue to do so. Yeah, just a note in the report of 2 lawn care companies, which is typical, and there was an artist, I think I've said at Barry's Bay, that was there, and a kayaking guide who has started a business. So interesting businesses, and we continue to promote this. I think next year with a full complement of staff, we'll do more work in the schools now that they're hopefully will be open again next year. We can do more promotion to get kids into running their own business. And of course, Heather Inwood Montrose, who is our new small business advisor, has been out quite a bit, including with our friends at Pikwakanagan and across the area, trying to get people aware once again of the services Enterprise Renfrew County offers, and getting her legs underneath her, and getting these virtual workshops and in-person workshops going. So the last one she held had over 100 attendees. We've started to receive actually applications from Pikwakanagan businesses who choose to use our services for mentorship. So very good positive relationships that our new business advisor has developed, and happy to have her on board. Again, of interest to the chair is that we've partnered with the container market in the town of Petawawa to bring young entrepreneurs to those new container markets, that new container market that's happening regularly in Petawawa. So good news stories all around from the entrepreneurs. That lots of interest in people starting their businesses as they see a change in the economy moving forward. Again, Chair, that's the ERC report.
Thank you very much. We'll go back to item number 1. Warden Robinson.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just through you to Craig. The Starter Company, that's the group that would do their presentation in a public forum. I think they had it at Festival Hall. Am I correct? And that's the program? Because if I am correct, I'm wondering if they are doing it again, because it was a fantastic evening. I went a couple of times over the years, and it was a great opportunity to see people at work.
Craig?
Through you, Chair, not entirely correct. That was RC 100. That was an event it was very similar. Now this is similar though. These folks do present to a series of our own internal judges and mentors that we employ, and volunteers that we review these. So it is a presentation, but it's not the one you're thinking of, unfortunately. With all due respect.
Warden?
I didn't think it wasn't anything but respectful. So that program has ended. There's no opportunity for that. Okay, that's too bad, because it was really, even the one you're talking about now and how it's being presented to staff, it was very enlightening, and for a member of municipal council to hear the enthusiasm that's out there from young entrepreneurs. It was excellent.
Thank you. Further on 1. Item number 2. Dan.
Thank you, Chair. To Craig, could you tell us who the 4 operational businesses are so that we can maybe visit them? Thank you.
Great.
I can. I knew this question was going to happen. So, the lawn care company, for those who live in Arnprior, Mr. Lynch, might want to hire Noah Pritchard from Quality Lawn Care of the town of Arnprior. Evelyn Nickerson is starting Evelyn is the name of her art business in Barry's Bay. And there's a Cala Chantrell from Palmer Rapids. Riv Her, H-E-R, so it's a female-oriented or female-led paddle company. I think probably in association with those from Paddler Co-op over the past years. And Jaden Collier from Calabogie, who started Collier Lawn Care. So those are the 4 businesses at the time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Further on 3. Pardon me, 2. Item number 3. Jeff.
Thank you, Chair. I don't know if it's to you or through you, but I was just wondering how the town of Petawawa's container market is going. My daughter, who's an avid ball player, I've spent quite a bit of time at the Petawawa Diamond, and I've noticed it's starting to pick up more and more. And I'm just wondering, is it going as well as was expected, or better or worse?
So the container market, you want me to respond to that? The container market is very small containers that are set up very, very clean and very, very modern, etc. There's 5 of them there, and they change the individuals who take these containers over Thursday to Saturday to Sunday. And it's a great opportunity for those who don't have a storefront to expose their merchandise and their profit without having the overall expenses for the full year. It's very inexpensive. It's very well received from those who are, for the want of a better expression, individuals who work out of their basements or their garages or whatever. And it's a pretty diversified type of situation, from jewelry makers to painters to those tie-down shirt type things, the T-shirts and so forth. Some do exceptionally well. but overall it has been very well received. I haven't got any comments back from our economic development officer as to how the young individuals were doing there, but I think it's a great opportunity for them to get into business without a whole lot of expenses. I think the weekend rental is $200 or something of that nature. When you're finished, you lock up the thing and go home. Just so you know, and I'll put in a little plug for this, as an extension of this, they're going to do something a little later on in this month, I believe, in the same area. So it's at the Kin Hut in Petawawa. They just recently paved a parking lot there, and it's very clean, and there's washrooms and all that sort of stuff. They're going to do a boot sale. I don't know if anyone's familiar with a boot sale, but a boot sale, just so you'll know, and this takes me back to my heritage. You have a bonnet on a car and you have a boot on a car. The boot is the trunk. So they're going to have a trunk sale, which is a boot. And you just come down there with all it's like a garage sale out of the back of your car. I think they've sold about 30 of these cars have come down there. You open the trunk up, and whatever you've got in there you can sell, okay? And they cost you $10 or $15 or something like that to park your car. So it's taken off quite well, and I think it's very well received. So it's interesting to see how the youth did with that. I'm sure there's some very innovative individuals that were using those things. There's food trucks in there as well, and so forth. So it's a nice idea. It's different. It's unique, and the boot sale. Just remember that, the boot sale, which is the thing at the back of the car. Okay. Okay, Jeb.
I promise I won't tell my wife about the boot sale.
There you go. So it's a garage sale on 4 wheels. Anyway, further on 3. Unless, Craig, you want to speak to it. 3, or did you? That's okay?
Oh, no, you're more familiar with it than I am, sir.
I handled it very well. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Where am I now? Okay, so we're finished with that. We'll go to Forestry. Jason, page 17.
Thank you, Chair. So page 17, the Forestry GIS report. First item under information is an update about the salvage operation on the Centennial Lake track. So you'll recall that we brought to your attention during the windstorm event in May. We did have some damage on the county forest. The salvage operation is started and is going through the process of salvaging the timber that can be salvaged. In addition to this event, we really looked into the idea of having a drone. Working with our EMS services who already have a drone, we did purchase a drone. So right now, Lacey Rose is utilizing the drone to make efficiencies. And what I have with your discretion, Chair, I do have a small little video available just to show you what the drone looks like in the air. So if I may, Chair?
Go ahead.
And so what you're seeing here is the salvage operation real time at the time of the capture of this drone video, and then what you'll see is the drone moving out and kind of showing you the lay of the land and the damage that the windstorm occurred during the event. It's interesting to see where the efficiencies that Lacey Rose sees with the use of the drone is pretty incredible, to be blunt. We have events where she'll come to an area in the county forest where she'll have to do at least a 1 or 2 hour walk around. With this drone in the back of her backpack, she can just throw it up in the air, drone across the swamp, look at an area that she wanted to walk to, and then come back. So again, just a quick little video. I don't think we need to go through the whole idea, but this is the intent, and this is what we're looking for when we purchased the drone, Chair. So I think we're good for the video. Item number 2 is just an update on our 2022 forestry operations. As you see in the report, the Lorwell tract operation has started. You'll recall this is one of our larger tracts that we're going to be harvesting and are started to harvest for 2022, and this is a red pine harvest, so good news that we're starting. Secondary in the report, you'll see that the Beechbird tract may need to be deferred till next year, unknown yet, but the contractor did ask for an extension. So typically we have a one year requirement to finish any operations for county forests, but due to the blowdown events, not only on our county forests, but on Crown lands, a lot of the contractors are trying to do salvage first and foremost. So what this will do may delay the Beachbird Tract operation. It may reduce the revenues for 2022, but staff still has a good feel and a good confidence level that we will meet our expectations of $180,000 for forestry revenues for 2022. Item number C is just an update, and this is a good news story and something we're looking at to do more often. So the County Forester, Lacey Rose, prepared a tour event to bring in the public, the ratepayers of Renfrew County, to come to a county forest, look at what the county forest is all about, give a history of the county forest, and then especially in the Beachbird Tract, the planned operations, what the whole operations from start to finish, what the operations will look like, and with the public informed or being informed, they have a better chance of understanding what we're doing and why we're doing things on the county forest operation. So this is a one-time event, but with the success of this, we want to do it more often at different forestry tracts throughout Renfrew County. Item number 1D is an information package and a participation that Lacey had in a podcast. And if you get a chance, please review this podcast that Lacey participated in. It's called How Women Are Challenging the Status Quo in Forestry with, it's a blank, but this time it's with Lacey Rose, the county forester. It's 35 minutes long, very well done, very interesting, and a great perspective of what she deals with on a day-to-day basis moving forward as a woman working in the wood industry. Item number E, 1E, is an update on the Migratory Bird Act. The federal government has changed or made some changes to the regulations on a certain bird, and it does have ramifications for a lot of different industries. And what you'll see on page 24 to 27 is an article about this, where a news article, and if you get a chance, it gives a better synopsis, a summary than what I'm going to do here. But the intent is some of the changes in the act dealing with the pileated woodpecker and their nesting cavity sites could put limitations on certain aspects of forestry, gas and oil industries, and even some of the commercial, some real estate industries too. So be aware of this. Staff is still reviewing this with M&R&F and other industries, just to see what the real ramifications will be. We feel through our forest management plan, we've taken this into consideration. But the biggest aspect of this is where before you'd have to have duty to care for and look after any nesting sites of the pileated woodpecker. The new act is saying you have to care for these nesting sites, but not for 1 year, but up to 3 years. So again, if you get a chance, take a look at the news article on pages 24 to 27. Chair, do you want me to stop there, or do you want me to go to the bylaws?
Let's handle the information items and clear that up, and then we'll go to the bylaws, okay? Okay, back to item number 1A. Comments? 1B. 1C. 1D. And 1E. Sheldon.
Yeah, just a general comment. I know, when new rules are made, I think sometimes governments fail to recognize what's already done. I know nesting trees, trained tree markers are already trained to recognize nesting trees, especially roosting habitat for pileated woodpeckers. And I know although we don't have a biologist on board, I still don't know how this falls under the migratory birds regulations, because the pileated is not a migratory bird.
Thank you.
Through you, Chair, and point taken, and that's why we're engaging the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry, just to help us understand the ramifications and the review of this whole process.
Okay, thank you. Okay, with that then, we'll go to bylaws.
Thanks, Chair. So first bylaw, or the one bylaw for consideration on page 18, the land use agreement. This is not a new item brought to this committee and county council, but we have made some changes. So what I'll do, as I usually do, is read the recommendation and give some background. That the Development and Property Committee recommend that county council adopt a bylaw to amend bylaw number 59-02, corporate policies and procedures for the County of Renfrew, to enact policy GA13, land use agreement, County of Renfrew owned trails. Again, nothing new in front of this committee. This is a document that will guide and direct staff when there's ever a request to use the excess lands on the county-owned trails, for example, parking lots, entrances, things like that were being requested already. So instead of bringing each and every request to a committee for consideration, this policy will guide us through the process. And so what County Council directed staff to do is have this legal document reviewed by our legal team, so which that has been done. Rasmussen, Starr, and Ruddy did review this document. They reviewed it in the entirety, and also paying close attention to the word encroachment that was throughout the document. And what you see there is the final revised draft in front of you on pages, I do believe, in the back of your committee package, Chair. So please take a look, and that's the first bylaw, Chair.
Thank you. You see the recommendation. Before I ask for a mover and a seconder, any comments on this bylaw? I think it's very, very important. I think it gives direction to staff. I think it's something that we've looked at. It as not Craig, but Jason has indicated, it has gone through the Algonquin Trail Advisory and the KMP, and it's been reviewed not only by that group and recommended to where we are, but it has been reviewed by the legal counsel, which I think is very important, out of Ottawa, and have no problems with the particular bylaw. But I think it's important that staff have a document that they can fall back on, and this is something I think that we've been looking for quite some time. Further on this policy, if you're comfortable with this, I need a mover and a seconder to adopt. Jeb and Peter, further discussion, if any? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed of any? It's carried. Thank you. Okay, software, item number 3.
Thank you, Chair. Item number 3 on page 19 of your committee package, and it's called the Small Local Government Enterprise License Agreement with ESRI Canada, ESRI. The recommendation, Chair, is that the Development and Property Committee recommend that County Council adopt a bylaw to enter into an ESRI Regional Government Enterprise Agreement for a 3-year period in the amount of $207,000 plus HST. So that's the recommendation, Chair. So as background and discussed a number of times at SLT, at FNA, and also in this committee, this initiative with ESRI will allow an expanded use of ESRI products for the County of Renfrew, but more importantly, for local municipalities also. We see this as an integral part of the planning process, not just planning, but all divisions and departments within Renfrew County and local municipalities. And so what we'll do here is expand our GIS footprint at the county, again, but more importantly, the work with the local municipalities. And I'm happy to say every local municipality has agreed to sign on with us under our umbrella agreement with ESRI to move forward. And as you see here, the first, we're paying it up front, the 3-year amounts up front, and that's coming from the Municipal Modernization Program Intake 2 and 3 as directed by County Council. So this is just more of a formality, but as long as the committee and County Council is aware of our process. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Comments on the presentation? Dan?
Thank you, Chair. To Jason, will the county be the hub for the municipalities if they got issues with this?
Jason?
Through you, Chair. So the county will assist the local municipalities when and where we can. No different for your municipality specifically. They have a working relationship with ESRI already with their software, but we will provide a supporting role as we always do.
Further on 3, before I ask for a mover and a seconder, please. Seeing none, someone move and second if you're comfortable with it. Dan, seconded by Kathy. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed of any? It is carried. Thank you. With that, we will go to real estate. Craig. Can be found on page 82, correct?
Thanks for that.
There you go. I saw you were struggling there.
Glad I got the job ready. Okay, so Kevin's away on other items today, so I'll just tackle this for Kevin. Of course, the real estate division is on page 82. Number 1 is, and the associated appendix is just letting you know where we're at with capital under threshold projects. Kevin and Dennis and Sonia are very busy trying to get a lot of tenders out the door, so it's been a crazy time, of course, in trying to find companies to bid on projects is getting increasingly difficult, but we're getting things done. Item number 2 is just a piece of information that, as required, we have updated our 2020. We're actually a couple years behind on this as per legislation. That's how it works. But we've completed our 2020 energy consumption and greenhouse gas emission reporting, and as such have posted it on our website as by law. Item number 3 is just a piece of information again for council. If you might see some new cameras located on the exterior of the building for several reasons. We've installed security cameras now with the joint use of this building for various reasons. And for security of our staff, we've installed cameras throughout the building at all of our entrances to monitor those entrances and not monitor staff movements, but to monitor anything that goes on outside the building. Item number 4 is, again, one more piece of information that we continue to assist our colleagues in Renfrew County Housing Corporation. Of course, we've got a new build going on at Lee Street and Douglas Street we're managing, and the ongoing maintenance and upgrades, and a whack of tenders going out for our CHC. So Kevin and his team are busy at work with that work. I'll stop with the information pieces before we go to the bylaws, sir.
Thank you very much. Item number 1. Any comments, questions? Item number 2. Item number 3, security system. Item number 4. Okay, then we'll go to the bylaws.
Thank you, Chair. Item number 5, as per norm, we'll read the recommendation, is that the Development and Property Committee recommends the County Council pass a bylaw to enter into an agreement between the County of Renfrew and GDI Integrated Facility Services of Ottawa, Ontario, for the provision of janitorial services for Renfrew County Place at 450 O'Brien Road in Renfrew, Ontario, in the amount of $198,899.32 plus HST for the 3-year period effective September 1, 2022 to August 31st, 2025, and further that bylaw 2613 is hereby repealed. By way of a background, of course, we've gone out to tender. The contract was up with our current cleaner at Renfrew County Place, and because of the notice that we're given from that cleaner, we did go out to a request for proposal process, and have received 2 bids as identified in your report, and have chosen that based on the experience and based on the pricing and a number of other factors that the award is as recommended in our recommendation. So with that, Chair, I will note, however, as Kevin did, that currently we're paying about $7,100 a month, and the new monthly janitorial fee is about $55, so we have realized efficiencies by going out to a new RFP process. Again, Chair, that's for
Thank you very
committees.
much. Any questions on the item number 5? Dan?
Thank you, Chair. Not really a question, more of a comment. We got people from Ottawa and Belleville, and there's nobody in the county of Renfrew that cleans that would want this job. Just a comment. Where are cleaners? Thanks.
It's an open contest or competition.
That is an honest, Chair, through you to committee. That this is an ongoing process. We're finding more and more that there's as we all know, there's a severe lack of staffing at all levels of every business, and trying to get businesses to tender, to reply to tenders is becoming increasingly difficult from local, even faraway businesses.
Further on 5. If you're comfortable with this, I need a mover and a seconder. Sheldon, seconded by Peter. No further discussion? I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed, if any? It's carried. Thank you. With that, we will go to the planning division. I believe, Bruce, that's your report, and I believe you've got some guests with you today.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. You were correct at the back of the room. You'll notice I did call in some reinforcements to help me with this one. So the planning report does start on page 85 of your committee package. There's just a number of information items. Number 1 is that I'm happy to announce that Rajat Ali, he's at the back, waving his hand there. He has been the successful candidate for the junior planner position, and he started with us on July the 6th. He has a postgraduate diploma in applied planning and a second diploma also in urban forestry, so he actually hits a whole bunch of expertises within the department, which is an interesting mix of experiences. He has worked for the Crow Valley Conservation Authority and also for the Township of Muskoka as a planning clerk. So, and please join me in welcoming Rajat to our planning team. Item number 2 is always nice to have some success stories and provide some recognition to our team members as well. And so the number 2 is that we're pleased to announce that Alex Benzie, one of our county planners, was the recipient of the Canadian Institute of Planners President's Award for Students. And this is an award that was established to recognize a graduating student from each of the accredited planning programs in Canada. And Alex was noted for her demonstration and outstanding contribution to their future profession. And there's a wide range of assessing factors that were done for assessing this award. So again, please join me in congratulating Alex on this accomplishment.
Well, welcome aboard, Rajat, Ali. Thank you for being here and being part of the team. Welcome. And to Alex, congratulations. It's certainly very nice to be recognized by your peers for that. So to you also, welcome aboard. Thank you. What job well done. Good. Look forward to working with both of you on the planning field. It's what we need to move all of the things ahead here in the county. With that, we'll go to your next item, item 3, Perfect. I think.
Thank you. So the next 2 items, item number 3 and 4, are both related to recent legislation that was passed by the province, being Bill 109. So I'll just quickly talk about item number 3 first, and then for item number 4, I'm going to turn it over to Alex. So attached as Appendix Plan 1 in your correspondence, we have been receiving several, and I'm sure the local municipalities have been receiving them as well, correspondences from other townships and other municipalities across Ontario, passing resolutions that are just requesting that the government of Ontario revisit the provisions of Bill 109 and work with stakeholders, including municipalities and representatives of AMO. So municipalities are finding that meeting the future requirements that are going to be imposed on municipalities starting in January of 2023 is going to be very difficult and challenging to meet these. And so they have requested that the province reconsider this. Whether or not the province reconsiders or not, we don't know. That's ultimately going to be up to them. But in the meantime, that's a segue into item 4. Is Alex is going to prepare a little or present what the county has been doing so far as a County of Renfrew response to Bill 109. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bruce, and thank you, Chair Sweet. So in June, committee directed staff to create a working group to address some of the legislative changes associated with Bill 109, the More Homes for Everyone Act. And as a refresher, one of the critical elements of that act are the application fee refunds when decisions on zoning bylaw amendments and site plan applications are not made within set timeframes. And though, as Bruce mentioned, this change was not expected, it does give us an opportunity to reflect on what's working and what perhaps needs improvement. So the goal and purpose of the working group is to collaboratively identify and implement opportunities to improve our processes, to ensure that we're handling applications in a timely manner, to ensure we have a consistent approach across the county, and to avoid the financial implications. And as Bruce also mentioned, another challenging thing about the Act is that municipalities have to implement policies and processes in response rather quickly. So it's certainly not ideal to be convening a group of people over the summer, but we did host our first working group meeting on July 20th, and we had a really great brainstorming discussion with staff from the towns and the townships. And one of the main takeaways from that discussion, as you'll see in the package, in the appendix with the package, is the need to sort of front end and kind of beef up the application review with an enhanced pre-consultation process. So we're still gathering feedback from the working group members on how exactly we would operationalize this and how to amend the official plan accordingly. And staff will be providing an update on this at the next committee meeting in September. But in the meantime, I'm happy to answer any questions today. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
I'll get back to you. When we go through, we'll go back to you.
Thank you, Chair. I'll continue on with item number 5. It's just an update from the Land Division Committee. We did have a hearing on July 17th and considered 8 consent applications, of which 7 of those applications were approved. Also, county staff attended and provided evidence at an Ontario Land Tribunal hearing based off of previous approval of a right-of-way application in the Township of Greater Madawaska. And in the package, it says the OLT decision is still pending. However, on Friday, after this report was written, we did actually get hear from the OLT and that the county was successful in defending the decision. So the appeals to the County Land Division Committee were dismissed by the OLT, and they were actually, the OLT was quite complimentary, especially to Ann McVeigh, who's also in the back today, about the thoroughness and like the accuracy of the reports. Provide a strong persuasion for it went a long way for the tribunal in making their decision of dismissing those appeals in favor of the County of Renfrew. Item number 6 is one that I'll actually turn over to Ann McVeigh. It's with regards to zoning bylaw project updates. So the county has been in the process of updating some zoning bylaws after the adoption of Official Plan Amendment 31, and I'll turn it over to Ann to provide a quick update and also a quick demonstration of as well as what planning staff have been up to.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Good afternoon. So Bonnechere Valley has successfully implemented its new zoning bylaw. It's a project that we started at the beginning of the year, and we're successful in getting that done, which is a huge accomplishment, and I think we're all pleased about that. So we have been working with our GIS technician, Angie Schultz, to prepare an interactive web-based version of the zoning bylaw that the general public can access through the Township of Bonnechere Valley website. And I'm going to share that with you right now, just a little demo. So I think you can see on your screen. So when this is, just get rid of this. When the site is opened up by the public, they're going to see an introduction to the Bonnechere Valley zoning bylaw, 2022-042. And what they're going to see is mapping the general area of Bonnechere Valley with the extent of the township shown outlined in heavy outline. So it's like any interactive map where you can zoom in, zoom out, you can pan around, and you can also have the ability to search for a property by rule number or an address, which will really simplify things for people in finding their properties and how zoning applies to it. There's a number of tools that are available through this mapping. So there's going to be a legend that will show what is being displayed on the map at the extent is shown at the extent it is shown. So as you move in and zoom in or scroll in, more layers are going to become available in terms of what's showing on the map. And there's always the home key to go back. If you get disoriented, you can go back to the original view. Under the layers list are going to be all the layers that are available with this map. And again, it's like the legend is, as you zoom in, more layers are going to become available in terms of being able to turn them on and turn them off. So again, you're able to scroll into an area and you can see what the different layers are that are available. This is just the zoning map itself, but there are some additional things that have been added that can be turned on or off that I think will be of use to the members of the public and also ourselves in reviewing applications. So one thing that's been added is, for instance, a lot and concession layer. So for people who may not be familiar with what their actual lot and concession numbers are, we can display those, and that will help people in terms of filling out applications. So that's one extra layer that's on there. And then also the air photography has been added in. So that's going to be a huge help in terms of seeing how zoning relates to what's on the ground and why things are zoned a certain way. I'm just going to go back to that in a minute. I'll just cover some of these other tools that are available. We're also going to have some measuring tools, so you'll be able to measure areas or measure lengths of road lines or frontages of properties. You'll also be able to determine some Latin long coordinates for properties if property owners need to do that to help them locate things on the ground. There's also a draw palette, so this will provide opportunities for people to mark up their maps and make notations if they want to. And there's also a printing function, which I won't go through that simply because it takes a bit of time to do, but that's what your end product would look like, something like that. And as I said, you can mark it up or do other things with it if you need to add information to it. But getting back to sort of how the actual zoning portion of it works, Like I said, there's different ways of getting to your property. You zoom in, zoom out. I'm just going to shut off this one there. So you can turn, you can zoom in, zoom out. You know, you can use your shift key and you can zoom into an area, a specific area if you know where it is. Or alternatively, you could go to the same location by typing in an address. Miller Road, Bonashire Valley. Boom, it'll take you right to the property. So that's going to make it easy for people to find their properties. And then, sorry, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. So when we look at a property, what does the zoning mean? They'll be able to click on the map and determine what zones apply. So in this case, there's a rural zone. What does that mean, or RU? They're able to see that the zone is rural, the abbreviation is rural, and if they click on the attachment, it's going to take them straight to the bylaw so that they can see what are the permitted uses, what are the lot size requirements, and the lot dimensions. If they, just go back here, sorry. Oops, sorry, lost my spot here. Jeepers, too many things open. I'm sorry. Oops, where is my screen? Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know where I went wrong. Oh dear. Just give me a second here. We're getting to the best part of the... Sorry, so we'll go back there. You're able to see what the zone provisions are. But in this case, if you were, for this property, if you were pointing in this area of the property, sorry. Oh, jeepers, sorry. Where am I? Oh, sorry. Good grief. Sorry?
Still sharing the screen?
No.
If you go to the side.
Sorry.
And go to...
Dan?
Yep, sorry. No.
Yep, and then push
Yes,
your...
sorry.
Chair, is this program available to all municipalities or just the county?
So just to finish off, sorry about the interruption there. You know, if you were pressing on the property in this location, this particular location, you would see that the zoning is rural, but there's also, this is also one of 3 things that affect those lands in that location. So you can see where the rural zoning is outlined in blue. If you go to the next page, it's showing a outlined buffer. And unfortunately, we can't move this window. I wish I could move it off to the side so you could see better. But the area that's outlined in blue is identifying a 300-meter buffer from a licensed resource, a sand and gravel resource, which is the MPR zone up here. And the third one that affects this area is the 300-meter buffer from a licensed pit, which is the MP zone, which we can see right here. So it allows people to understand what zoning is on their property and easily access the provisions that go with each zone by going directly to the bylaw.
Great, thank you very much, Ann. So we've been working with local municipalities, so if committee can remember back to, I think it was November, we started preparing work programs for the various municipalities, and we had, I think it's 9 municipalities who agreed and asked that the county undertake a program to update their comprehensive zoning bylaws. And so we created a template bylaw that we are going through and working with different municipalities to do that. And part of that process and program is to create a digital-based zoning for each of those municipalities and the creation of this interactive website that you can see here. So Bonashire Valley is the very first municipality to actually complete the process, so their bylaw is in effect, and the link to these interactive maps are already live on their website. So we are currently working with The Township of Killaloe, Haggerty, Richards, and North Algona, Wilberforce, also on updating their maps. They have drafts of their maps and bylaws as well, but we're just in the process of finalizing those. And then as staff time becomes available, as our capacity, as we're looking at that, we'll be moving forward with other zoning bylaws as agreed to with local municipalities who have asked the county to provide that service for them. So that is the update on number 6. And the very last information item, Chair, is just an update from the Ministry of Transportation. They are trying to modify the way that they communicate with members of the public and the development community. They have created this new portal where they ask that people who are interested in obtaining any type of permit or approval from the Ministry of Transportation that they go through this portal. And the link is there, and they also indicate that they're going to be reaching out to the local building departments and planning staff also, so that the local municipalities and the local staff are also directing residents and developers to these sites. What it doesn't do is change the way that municipalities or the county interacts with the Ministry of Transportation, so we still have our contacts at the MTO and our circulation processes for planning applications, whether it's at the county level or local municipalities, doesn't change. This is only a portal for people who are specifically looking for approvals from the MTO, not for applications. So this is just an information item, Chair. And that is the conclusion of the planning report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll go back to item number 1. We've already welcomed Rajit to the team. Thank you for being here. And of course to Alex, again, welcome. Item number 3. Are there any comments on item number 3? On the working group, are there any questions for Alex on the presentation that has been made today? Land division, item number 5. Item number 6. Craig.
No, I just wanted to point out and thank Bruce and his team for this. So over the course of the last year, when Bruce took the reins as manager, I challenged him and his team to come up with digital solutions, and he challenged himself, quite honestly. Bruce wanted to modernize things and create these type of environments where the public will assist us, I guess, in the front end to help us get through the process a little quicker. We are, again, we'll say it again, we are inundated with applications and general inquiries and staff. Of course, we've ramped up staff and added to that. But we still have a lot of applications and trying to get ahead of that. So as we move forward and down this road of digitizing and processes, I think I'm congratulating Bruce, at least on behalf of hopefully yourselves, on taking these leaps forward and being backstopped by people like Angie Schultz and GIS, who did a lot of work on here, and thanks to Jason and his team for getting this to happen. So as we move forward as a corporation, especially in planning, this is what you'll see, is a modern take on how we will be accepting and working through planning applications as we move forward. So I'm very impressed, and hopefully you are too.
Yeah, and I have to say, I would imagine Bonnechere Valley would be extremely pleased of the timely manner that is in place to get this bylaw in place. I think staff have to be congratulated on that. That's normally a much longer process. So to the entire team to get that through in such a fast and timely manner, I think is excellent, and they should be very proud of that initiative that is put in place for the entire team. So congratulations to their planning group. All too often they don't get the kudos that they should get, and quite frankly, that's a major accomplishment to get a piece of legislation through as quickly as possible. I think is quite remarkable, and I look forward to seeing North Algona going forward and Killaloe, Haggerty and Richards in the same timely manner. So again, congratulations. I think this is a tremendous step forward for the planning group here in the county of Renfrew. So thank you for what you've done and brought it forward in such a timely manner. I think it's excellent. Good job. Well done. Anything on 6? Peter?
Yes, thank you. What an exciting application. I think what's most impressive is in any conversations I've been involved in, probably the most frustrating piece is the buffers, and the ability to go on to a piece of property and page over and find the buffers. I think it'll alleviate a lot of confusion off the front end, because that always seems to be the biggest thing is, well, here's my property, and then suddenly get the minefield of the buffers or zoning that impinges on their ability to do something with it. So I think that's probably the most important piece. And I like the print function where someone can map out the property in print, because I think again, sitting looking at these, sometimes the most frustrating thing is the hand-drawn drawings with different colors that bleed over into a lake, and you're never sure what it is. So thank you. I think this is really exciting. I'm glad to see it, and to add to the chair, congratulations. What a phenomenal step forward. Thank you.
Yeah, you can say and put into words a 100-meter setback and 300-meter setback, but let me say a picture's worth 1,000 words. When you can actually physically see it on a screen, I think that's very, very important. So, again, excellent work on the planning department. Good job to everyone. Jeb?
Thank you, Chair. I echo those same comments. This is, to me, is exceptional as to what we've just seen here today. It sort of pulls everything together with regards to the bylaws and the maps, and also it's like a one-stop shop for individuals who are want to take a look and see what they plan on doing with their property, and everything is there for them. I think it's going to save the planning department a lot of time and effort in the long run if they do their a lot of their homework first. Some of these items may never even make it to the planning department because they already realize that they cannot do what they want to do, or it's a no-brainer. They know that they can do it. So thank you very much, all of you, for all the work that you've done to pull this together. Absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Well, at the end of the day, I think it is going to accelerate for developers having this tool at your hands as quickly as possible. And after all, that's what it's all about, getting the shovels in the ground, etc., and getting development moving. And I think this is a giant leap forward for planning here in the county. Peter?
Sorry, I'd forgotten a question when I was going through it. So is it granular enough, and I'm assuming it is, because sometimes in our rural areas or our smaller urban centers, we have, it's called Part Lot 6, and is it granular enough to identify that as a function? Because sometimes, especially, I'm thinking along the lines of McNabb Braeside, where they've got somewhat smaller lots that people are trying to build on. Is it granular enough to pull that stuff out? Thank you.
Bruce? Through you, Chair. So we do use our property, base property information that is derived from MPAC. So that is the base information that the county keeps and maintains. I know it's an ongoing effort by the GIS department to keep the property information as up to date as possible. There is certain, I'll say, background information that staff have access to that isn't necessarily public information. So we may have more information in the background that is available to us that we can look at that we're not necessarily allowed to put on the public site, but you can search by roll number, you can search by municipal address, and hopefully that gives people enough information that they're able to search down and find their individual parcels.
Further on 6. Jeb?
Thank you, Chair. Just one other quick question. I forgot my question also. I was just wondering, are there other counties that you're aware of that are set up in this similar fashion, or are we leading the show again?
Through you, Chair. No, I believe other municipalities do have this tool available to them, and especially if you have a larger center, they do have digital mapping available to them. One of the challenges for us is that this was the first time we've undertaken this project, and a lot of our zoning maps, actually all piles of them, are still Mylar based even, and so it was like hand-drawn maps, and there's no easy conversion just saying, we'll try and take that hand-drawn map to digital. So it is a lot of intensive work on the computer, cutting and pasting, actually using the mouse and using property fabrics or other features to really create the zones from scratch. So it was a pretty labor-intensive process, but I think the end result is going to be something that is to the benefit of not only to the ratepayers, but also especially for chief building officials. When they get a permit and they have to check zoning, they're able to quickly search the property instead of going through a whole series of maps or looking for the buffers. The chief building official can pull up the property. What is the zone? What are the setbacks I'm supposed to be looking at? And they should have all that information at their fingertips. So I think it's going to be a good tool. And Chair, I believe Councillor Lynch also had a question with regards to, is this available to
Yes.
other municipalities? So the answer to that one is that this was part of the work program that we developed for the local municipalities that they signed on to. So at this time, there is not a plan to roll this out for local municipalities as a whole. As municipalities update their zoning bylaw amendments, the county, I believe, there was a fee that we're charging the local municipalities for this service that was built into that work program, so that in the future, if local municipalities, when they're updating their zoning bylaws, they want to utilize county planning or GIS services, there may be opportunities depending on capacity and workload at that time. But also, if there's municipalities who are updating your own zoning bylaws, with a consultant, that's something that you can have that discussion with the consultant whether they provide something similar for that municipality.
Okay, thank you. Oh,
I don't want to beat this too much more, Chair, but just one last comment. I think this is what you'll start to hear, and Mr. Davis has always sold himself quite well on this, is the importance of GIS. You've seen, of course, the resolution today to enter into an agreement with ESRI, but you're likely to hear in the ensuing months about the importance of GIS and what role it plays for the County of Renfrew as a whole, and more importantly for your local municipalities to build these type of things. So just be forewarned. You'll hear more in the coming months about how GIS will play a role in moving things forward for the County of Renfrew and the municipalities.
thank you for that. Okay, we've had a very good discussion on that. That's great. Item number 7. Any comments? Okay, then I need a motion to accept the entire report, please. Dan and Peter, all in favor? It's carried. New business, anything for the betterment of DMP? Seeing none, now I do believe we have a couple items for closed. So I need a motion to go into closed and you can see the purpose there. I'll read it to you. Peter, seconded by Jab, that the meeting be closed for proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, the paramedic base, and information explicitly supplied in confidence to the municipality or local board by Canada, a province or territory, or a crown agency of any of them, and that's for the Algonquin Trail. So with that, all in favor? It's carried. Thank you very much, Sean. Now we're back in open session. There's nothing further for development and property. I need a motion to adjourn, please. The warden and Jeb, all in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.